Hey, it's Mark Linear with your video thought for the day. This week, I've been thinking about eyes. The eyes have it. Okay, not funny, but anyway, Captain. Let's get to the biblical text. I've talked about how important it is that our eyes be looking to God on Monday, that our eyes be avoiding evil on Tuesday, the Job 31 passage, make a covenant with your eyes. Today I thought I'd go to a little bit different look. 2 Samuel. Now in 2 Samuel chapter 7, verse 19, there's an interesting passage, but you got to get the context of it down. King David is coming near the end of his reign, and David's thinking about building a temple for God, the big temple. Now, if you know your biblical history, you know it's called the Temple of Solomon, the first temple built for God in Jerusalem. And Solomon was not David, right? David's son. And so David's thinking about building a temple. He says, why should I live in a nice stone house and God not have an appropriate stone structure? And Nathan the prophet comes to David with the word of the Lord. And Nathan says, look, God, this is my version, God really appreciates your heart, really appreciates that you want to build this temple, but it's not yours to do. It's going to be a temple built by your son. Now, God's blessed you immensely. He's given you the kingdom. He's given you offspring. He's going to make sure your house lives on forever. He's going to bless your son and give your son wisdom and opportunity and secure your son and even give your son forgiveness when he messes up. God's not only taken care of your past, but he's taken care of your present, and he's ensuring your future. So that's what's told to David. And it's within this context that David says the following. He says, this is amazing what all is going to be done here. And I know that this is a small thing in your eyes, O God, what you've done and what you promised to do. And I love that passage because David recognizes that in the resources of God, and eyes are often used in the Old Testament Hebrew as a metaphor for wisdom and knowledge and mental ability. David recognizes that all of the blessings he's had in his life, which are immense, and all of the promises of the future are so small compared to what God is able to do. And I like that because it tells me that whatever I'm going through today, first of all, I've not exhausted the blessings of God. He's always able to do far more exceedingly abundant, not only than anything I could ask for or think of, but than anything I've experienced. But I like it even more because every difficulty that comes my way, I know the solution to the difficulty is a small thing in the eyes of the Lord. Every problem I come up against that I can't figure out how to do, I know it's a small thing in the eyes of the Lord. Every difficult relationship that needs mending, that I can't figure out how to mend, I know it's a small thing in the eyes of the Lord. Every obstacle, every sin, every cry for forgiveness, every hole I'm stuck in, redemption is a small thing in the eyes of the Lord. So it's no wonder that I started this week with that Psalm 122 passage that I'm going to take my eyes and look to the Lord till he have mercy on me. Because in the eyes of the Lord, all of the blessings we can enjoy of kingly amount are a small thing. There's so much more he can do for you and me when we look to him, when we follow him in trust and faith, which is the challenge for me that I'm passing on to you in this, your video thought for the day. See you tomorrow.